Hello everyone and welcome back to Austin Cooks and Bakes, where today we are covering Italian cuisine. As you know, in the last video I covered British cuisine, but now we are covering Italian cuisine because there's many cuisines, as we know, and Italian is one of the most popular ones alongside many of the other cuisines. So without further ado, let's just get on with the video. Now, as you can see, there is obviously the Italian flag, but then there is obviously spaghetti and pizza. For the record, that is not all that they have in Italy. As recently, I actually went to Italy earlier this year, and I did state that in my British cuisine video. It has taken me a while to get around to this, obviously with exams and stuff, but I finally did. And when I was actually documenting some of the stuff I did, stuff I ate in Italy, and they were just, it's perfect. So without further ado, let's just get right into it. First off with the historical background of Italian cuisine. So historically, it may have not been, it was the richest, may have not been, okay, we're off to an amazing start already. So Italian cuisine historically may have the richest and most fantastic history there is. Now, there is no official era as it does date back for many centuries, but many civilizations throughout this time have heavily influenced the cuisine we know and love today. Now, the biggest changes happened during the ancient Romans on the Etruscs. Sorry, I can't say that. But during the Roman civilizations, and the food was used that was of. Wow, I can't speak today. And to be fair, I've recorded about 5 videos already. So now the most right, let's start this again. And the food during the ancient Roman civilization era was evolved through and was used throughout the use of trades and culture exchange. The most highlighted era was during the 1800s, when many of the desserts and puddings were invented for the Italian cuisine, and were invented they were evolved from pizza and pasta, and which are still icons for the cuisine to this day. I know pizza and pasta is sort of a stereotype. They have such good ingredients, which is what I'll get onto next. But the historical background is honestly very rich, and so is its food. So honestly, the history for Italian cuisine, you actually learn about it if you tour the the Colosseum. You learn about the food that some of the warriors ate, and it is very historical. Now, usually I would have an image in there somewhere, but as you can see by the background and by the title, Common Italian Ingredients, I didn't have to do that. Now, the ingredients that are used in the Italian cuisine are probably what make up the richness of the cuisine. There are so many fresh, high-quality ingredients used, and that can be reflected in such simplistic dishes like pasta and pizza. Seasoning is a big part of the seasoning is a big part of the culture as well, but with both seasoning there is always a fine line. Between too much and too little, you can either have too much pepper or too little pepper or too much salt, and and vice versa. Like salty pasta is, oh my god, if you have too much salt, it does ruin a dish, especially when it comes to egg. Now, believe it or not, olive oil is the most common ingredient when it comes to any Italian dish except for desserts. But some of the staple ingredients of Italian cuisine include garlic, basil or basil, however you want to say it. Parmigiano Reggiano is a version of Parmesan cheese. Tomatoes, and a wide range of herbs and spices, which is still, and another very uncommon one that people don't know about is balsamic vinegar. If you've seen this on the internet, you can see they put olive oil in a tub and then puts a little balsamic vinegar in it, which is very common when it comes to a spread, and it's a dip. So those are just some of the fresh ingredients, and when you go to Italy, when you get authentic versions of these foods, so tomatoes grown in some of the farms in Italy, we actually went around and saw some of the food farms. They were, oh my god, we went in a car, and then when you got out of the car, the smell was phenomenal. and you would thought you were in heaven. The herbs and the garlic, and then it was just amazing. And honestly, they're so fragrant and rich. If you get to go to Italy and try these just on their own, just try it on their own. It is a experience you'll never forget. Now, pizza. Now, alongside pasta is probably the most famous dish in the culinary art of Italy. Now, pizza actually originates in the Naples, which is a city in Italy, and there are so many styles of pizza, but the most iconic being a Neapolitan style, or a proper style, shall we say, which is the best style of pizza. To be fair, it's so thin and so fragrant, and all the sauces and the cheese really do shine through. So a Neapolitan is a thin crust, usually with a homemade sauce on top, using San Marzano tomatoes and mozzarella cheese, commonly from a buffalo. Now, toppings aren't that common in a Neapolitan style or in like Italian cuisine, but it does make sense because sauce and cheese are good on their own, and just putting them together is quite nice. Other styles of pizza include deep dish and stuffed crust, none of which I've tried. Stuffed crust, it just seems too much. Recently, I went to Italy, but recently I came back from another place. Oh my god, there was so much cheese. So I had a pizza there, and I've tried a pizza in Italy. It was amazing. The tomato sauce is the best part, but in this you could barely taste the tomato sauce because it was drenched in cheese. Every bite made, I mean, I'm not trying to be rude or anything. It was just too much cheese and it made me feel sick. And then my dad decided to get a halloumi cheese soup, so lovely. So yeah, just especially stuffed crust and deep dish would just put me off cheese, and none of which I have actually tried. And I really want I want to try deep dish at one point because it's not all just like cheese. Now, funnily enough, both of these styles do not actually resonate in Italian cuisine. That is the sources of Americanization. So, but the classic Italian version is a Neapolitan style, probably the best to me. Now, alongside pizza, you have pasta. Pasta is another cornerstone of the culinary arts, and it is one of the most freeing things to make because there is such a variety of shapes and sizes for pasta, from penne to ravioli and gnocchi, or not gnocchi. Right. Believe it or not, risotto is actually also considered a pasta dish and is I love risotto, maybe the best, maybe just not mushrooms. There's also a debate about which is the best pasta, but their ingredients never change, which is a good thing actually. It always consists of flour, egg, and possibly some olive oil to present more flavor and more richness. Pasta is also usually accompanied by a sauce and with a herby flavor. And I really do love pizza, but pasta is probably it's just a definite close second. I love pizza, but pasta is phenomenal in its own way as well. I tried. Used to make spaghetti carbonara when I was at home, and when I tried it in Italy, I just couldn't make it at home because I knew it would have never been the same, but it is really nice. A lot of people say there's too much flavor, there's too much pepper. Disagree. I think it is very good with the egg and the cream because it kind of cancels out and it's just really fragrant. And that was the first time, because in this place they had the first time I tried guanciale, because guanciale is obviously a sort of form of pork and bacon. Well, bacon / pork because they're the same thing, but it's my mum doesn't usually like bacon anyway, but she tried it and didn't like it. But this it had so much flavor. I mean, it was such a tiny bit of guanciale, but it was like a punch of flavor. It was so much. But yeah, like carbonara is probably my favorite because it mixes some of my favorite ingredients. But then I had a carbonara arrabbiata, and then an arrabbiata. Oh, sorry, I'm sorry if I'm butchering the name. I do apologize. But then like some of the other stuff, like penne, ravioli. I tried ravioli for the first time in Italy. Oh my god, the things you can have in Italy are just amazing. Now, Seafood is of one of the biggest so Italy has one of the biggest coastlines in the world, and introduces a whole new range of food, including seafood, and they have so much food at their fingertips, it's ridiculous. Now, because of this, seafood items have a strong relation to Italian cuisine, with ingredients like shellfish and fresh fish. Now, a large portion of the Italian population resort to a Mediterranean diet, which induces the need for fish to get the required protein. There are many health benefits, and to be fair, there are some really good fish dishes like, so I tried mussels while I was there, tried lobster risotto, some prawns, clams and garlic pasta, or clam and garlic pasta, pasta, oh my god, amazing. I'm trying to think of a dish I didn't like while I was there. Nope, I actually didn't have, there was not a dish I had there that I didn't like. Oh yeah, no, sorry, I tell a lie. I was there and I had a Chinese, it was this very corner shop. It was a corner shop that sold, that was a Chinese place. Yeah, that was just not great. I mean, because that may have just been because that at lunchtime we had what we class now as the best pasta. So yeah, seafood, and it was just amazing, and yeah, like, oh my god, the food there, the seafood, especially the lobster. Oh my god, that's gourmet. Now, appetizers apparently, to my surprise, is a very big thing in Italy, and it was on every menu, and are essential to the traditional dining experience. Often these appetizers feature a wide selection of meats, cheeses, and some vegetables. One of the most common appetizers is bruschetta, which is a slice of bread toasted with olive oil and topped with diced tomatoes, some sprinkled with some parmesan and balsamic vinegar. Having appetizers is actually a tradition known as an aperitivo. Sorry, oh my god, I'm really bad at this. Aperitivo. Pre-dinner ritual where drinks and small snacks or bites are enjoyed as a group. I thought this was really fascinating, and the food that comes with these appetizers are actually really good. I really cannot lie. I did try bruschetta. However, I'm already not a big fan of tomatoes. If they're in a sauce, fine. I like them in a sauce. I just don't like raw tomato. That's just me. The cheese and meat platters there were so decadent, and it was like raw meat just off the platter. It was amazing, and I definitely want to get one again. But the appetizers are actually really good. I mean, I'm not an olives fan, but when they're mixed in like some cheese and meat, I don't care. Now, desserts. Desserts weren't exactly a popular thing while I was over there. The only two things I saw on the menu were either a tiramisu, cannoli, gelato, or panna cotta. Those were the three ones I saw. So the desserts are probably the richest part of the cuisine, and in the culinary language of Italy, it isn't called desserts, it's called dolci, or dolce, like a dolce de leche latte. Now, it is another aspect of the culinary arts that celebrates indulgent flavors, and I don't know what it is, but Italian desserts just look so good. Now, I don't want to ruin the presentation. It is like a piece of art. It's just amazing. Like the presentation is just, it outweighs what you want. Like, I'd pay for just to see it. Some of the classic desserts include tiramisu, cannoli. So tiramisu I tried over there. That was lovely. It was it was filled with coffee, but it was very lovely and very moist, rich, lovely. Cannoli, very sweet. First time I'd ever tried it. I liked it. Gelato. Now, gelato is essentially ice cream, but I don't know what it is. When we were in Italy, it just felt different. And panna cotta is so light and oh my god, it's not something you can describe. It's just so moist and creamy, and it's got so much flavor, and I like when it jiggles. It's funny. Now, all of these I've tried, and I love them all. I really do. And it looks like one of them I haven't ever tried, which is I'm not gonna say it because I don't want to butcher the name, but which is so this is apparently just a rolled thin pastry filled with cream, and it looks really good, and I have seen it many times on TikTok, but I will try it one day. Mark my words, I will try it. I didn't try it in Italy. I didn't actually find it, surprisingly. Now, last thing on the agenda is my overall opinion of the Italian cuisine. Now, I try my best to not choose a favorite, but when it comes to this cuisine, it is so hard to do. It is so rich in culture, and the way it is reflected in its food is just amazing. Now, as a person who is always on the fence about fishy food, the only thing I can really accept is salmon and salmon and prawns. But this was the first time I ever tried clams, like mussels and regular clams. Their seafood dishes were phenomenal. The best part, however, are the desserts. I must say that now. The desserts are so full of flavor and there's so much variety. I mean, pasta and pizza. My dad says this, and this has actually recently happened. So I obviously had a carbonara in Italy, and I had a recent carbonara in Cyprus, which is where I had the cheesy pizza as well. So had it in when I had it in Cyprus, it was so it just wasn't the same. I couldn't enjoy it. It was filling, it was nice, I couldn't enjoy it because all I kept on thinking was about Italy. You definitely can't have carbonara and pizza and expect it to be the same. You just can't. Pizza is lovely in every shape or form to me. That may just be a default for me. But pasta, anything but mac and cheese is basically ruined. Because you know it's not going to be that as good. But pasta is phenomenal. So, overall, the Italian cuisine is definitely up there with some of the best food. You know what, screw it. It is the best. It is the best cuisine in the world, but it is the best, unfortunately, and it's just an undetermined question. It is so good. And if you get the chance, if they always say, if you don't throw your penny in the fountain, or some sort of thing is the Trevi fountain, if you don't put your coin in it, you're not gonna go back to Rome. I did put my coin in it, and I will get back to Rome one way or another. But Rome is such a lovely place, and if you get to go to Italy at all, the weather is lovely. Recently in Cyprus, I got a horrendous sunburn. We saw the sun amazingly in Rome, but the temperature was, I could live there. It was amazing. Now, Italy, a very good place to go and try their food. It is maybe the best part. So that is the end of today's video. Hope you all enjoyed, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe and comment what else you would like to see on the channel. We've got more content coming to Austin Cooks and Bakes. I haven't been able to upload as much, unfortunately, because I've been very, very busy, but now there are going to be a lot of content rolling in. So without further ado, I hope you all have an amazing day, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.